This is the man right here, man. This is the guy who taught me how to fight. Oh, right. Don't hold that against him, though. Don't hold that against him.
Not everything.
Not everything. Yeah, things are different. Great man right here. Great man.
Hey, John, how does it feel, man, knowing that tonight was your night and you're put in this situation, right?
It's unfortunate, man, but people have their own deal. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and I got to move on to the next.
But you know what? There's circumstances where this occurs, but most of the time it happens due to weight issues and stuff like that. But this time along, you know, we get like rape allegations or whatnot. Like, what did you think when you first heard that?
I was pissed, man, because we did the time and energy for this camp, you know, and we were ready. It was 4 days before we got on the scales, you know. And when it happened, I was literally in the steam. I was in the steam, I was finishing one of my workouts, and my phone freezes because I have literally reporter after reporter calling me. Then I turn on the radio on News 980, it's announced. I'm like, what the heck? Obviously, I call Al, I call everyone else. And what's going on? What's going on? Don't worry, everything's fine. And the next day, that's when everything fell through. And to get someone on short notice, it's not going to work that way. And especially me putting the camp that we put him specifically for Victor, which he's a great fighter. And here's another thing. Ben Lira was privy to me, and when we were young, me and Victor used to spar and we used to go to war. And that was at his gym. To the point where they actually stopped and said, okay, no more, you guys are going to kill each other. So that was a little treat of what you were going to see, a little peekaboo of what you were going to see that night.
Yeah, great.
So,
it would have been great. But I think somebody would have been top, right?
Thank you. No, but
the better puncher and yet tougher all the way around. And those are the two keys. I'll leave you right there.
Thanks. I'll talk to you before you leave.
Okay.
Okay. But like I said, with that being said, we were definitely ready for the fight, and I think it's unfortunate, man. I mean, as a man, I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for the quote-unquote the alleged victim. But it's a crappy situation, especially we were ready to go to war. And I think the ticket sales reflected, as you guys can look at the crowd right now. So.
Do you feel bad for him?
It's kind of like I can't say that because there's another victim that we don't know. You know, an alleged victim. We don't know any of that yet. So I feel bad for the situation. I can't be like, oh, well, it sucks for Victor. How about this other person that supposedly something terrible happened to? You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to say. I feel bad for the situation. I feel bad for myself because we got ready for this fight. We were prepared, and then it all falls through. I feel bad for the fans because the fans came to see a real fight, and it was going to be a real fight. Yes, Victor may have some shortcomings, but like I always say, it's up to me to prove those. It was up to me to go in there and prove those to him and prove that to the world. But it was just an unfortunate situation, man.
And how do you feel today, right now, knowing like, you know, today's fight night and then...
It sucks. The time went by a lot slower. But the good thing, on a good note, though, I heard Brandon Rios talking some stuff, and so we posted something on social media, and the fans enjoyed it. If Brandon's game, I'm game. Let's get it on. Let's make it happen. Might as well finish off this year, you know, with a great fight for the fans. That's not a disrespectful take on Brandon. I think he's a great fighter. I think both of our styles fit well together, and I think it'll be a great fight, a great Southern California fight, and the fans will turn up for that fight. So, again, I don't want it to come off like, oh, I'm calling people out, this and that, but I think it's a fight that needs to happen.
Did they try a leg replacement for you, and if so, what were the options if they mentioned?
They did try, but at this stage in the game, it's kind of hard to find a replacement, especially for someone like Victor. You know, Victor's still Victor, and it was tougher than to find a replacement, so it made no sense to go in there and fight some guy, go out there and have a sparring match, and take care of business and go on to the next. That made no sense, especially where we're at right now. It makes more sense to go back with the team, reevaluate who's out there, and then take on whoever wants to get it. And I have a strong feeling that Rios is going to want to do it.
In a situation like this, just for fans' understanding, what happens in terms of purses? Is everyone shit out of luck, or is it percentages? He owes you money, or you get your guarantee? How does that work?
I really can't go into that publicly. But with that being said, I'll be fighting soon, and I'm happy about that. I'm definitely not making what I was going to make that night, and that sucks because I have a family as well that I feed. But with that being said, I mean, I know I'll be back in there real soon.
Wilder Fury undercard?
Who knows?
Southern California special?
I said I don't need. I really don't need an 8-week camp. I just went through a whole very, very grueling camp for someone like Victor Ortiz. So I spoke into my team. I told them, hey, we don't need a crazy camp. Give me the guy, give me the project, give me the assignment, and let's go to work.
So what do you tell Victor just at the end of the day, man? What do you tell him if he's listening? Just any advice or feelings? How do you feel? Just maybe nothing.
To Victor personally, look at from a man standpoint, my heart goes out to his family. Not so much him, but his family. These are decisions that he may or may have not made. I don't know. They're all allegations, so it's not, I can't really. We don't know what the story is yet. I'll be able to tell you after everything unfolds. I feel bad for the family because I'm a family man myself. But we all make our own bed. We got to sleep on it, or sleep in it. That being said, I'm disappointed in the fight game. Yeah, I'm disappointed because this was a fight that was going to really attract a lot of people, and I think the fans knew that.
Do you believe in Murphy's Law, being that Victor's history? I'm pretty sure you've thought that on your own, but negative plus negative equals negative, positive plus positive equals positive. I'm not saying the rape allegation was a negative. I'm just saying, but just bad things continuously happen in Victor's life.
I don't want to say
or negative things.
There's things that you got, things that you can control, certain things that you can control as a man, and I think maybe he needs a better understanding of that. You know, look at Broner. I mean, he definitely really was kind of going off on the deep end, and I think he's kind of reeling himself in a little bit. So I don't know, Murphy's Law, yeah, especially when it's not against my Rams, you know what I mean? I don't believe in that, but with that being said...
yeah, I had it for about 10 years, though.
and I'm a true fan. I've been around since day one.
Oh, Jim Everett.
Jim Everett.
Chris Everett.
Kevin Green, those guys. Hey,
Jim Everett. Jim Rome, right?
Yeah, I remember that. But with that being said, I'm an OG fan. I'm not one of these fake bandwagon fans. Whatever, there's plenty of room, guys, come aboard, but... Know your history of your Rams before you call yourself a Rams fan.
All right, last thing. The last time a quarterback got off to that good start, it was in
talking about Mahone, right?
Yeah, golf.
Oh, golf.
Yeah,
Golf.
Mahone's going off.
Oh, is it?
They won the Super Bowl last time.
Yeah, golf. Man, he killed it in the Minnesota. And the Minnesota game was a barn burner. It was funny because we were walking out of the stadium, and there's a big 6'5" Minnesota fan. He's like, man, this is sad. That's sad. And I looked at him and said, what's sad, man? He said, you guys can't even fill a stadium. I said, no, you want to know what's sad? What's sad is what happened to you against the Bills last week. That's what's sad. And he was like, oh, I'll agree with you on that. But you can't fill a stadium. I said, you're too big to be a sore loser, man. You're a big dude. Don't be a sissy. And he looked at me like, I was like, yeah, don't go there, man. He was all drunk. That's sad. I'm all, that's what you're complaining about? Complain about those 2 L's you guys just took. Complain about that.
147 divisions.
Yes.
Talk about it. Is Porter just one?
Do I look 47?
You look about 162. You look good.
162.
How much you weigh right now?
How much are we right now? In the 50s.
50s. You look good. You look good. You look healthy.
Hey, well, how are you? Good to see you. 147. I want to display some more power. I want to show them what I'm all about. And I think this fight with Victor was going to show that. Because he's not a feather-fisted puncher. He can crack. Got to respect that. But I think this fight would have shown where my power is at and where it belongs.
Who's the top 2 at the welterweight division? Would you say?
Top 2 right now?
Yes.
Earl Spence. I think he runs the table at 47 right now. And as far as accolades go. And then resume-wise, I mean, look at Danny's resume. Look at Sean Porter went in there and did what he had to do. I mean, I know you guys want to go to Terrence Crawford, but again, you know, Terrence did good against Horn and coming up to 47, and he has a fight against Benavidez, I believe.
13th.
Coming up soon, which that should be a pretty good fight, but I'm going to lead towards Terrence, given his boxing IQ and what he possesses in the ring. But I think 147 is a very intriguing and a fun division right now, and one that I can't wait to get involved in.
What belt would you want to go after? The green belt, WBA, IBF?
To me, I want to go around. I want to go after the toughest challenge. I've never had the opportunity to say, oh, I want this guy. I'm going to fight that guy next. You guys know my career. I've never been the guy that pick and choose. I've always came in like, okay, let's see what John Molina can do. And the fights that I pulled out of the fire was not because someone was on my side. It was because I did what I had to do. And I'll take on that role. I'll continue to take that role. And let the naysayers say what they're going to say. Put me in the ring with them and let's get it on.
Wilder Fury?
I think Wilder has that fight. not taking anything away from Fury, but I think Wilder's a better fighter. And then Anthony Joshua and Wilder, I think that's the fight. That's going to be the fight to watch.
And you moved up in weight. My last question, you moved up in weight. Mikey Garcia wants to take on Errol Spence. What's your take on that? Going from 135 to 47. Something you've done.
How can you talk bad about Mikey? Technically speaking, the guy is just his timing, the way he moves, the way he fights. It speaks for itself. But I believe Mikey. I think Earl's just too big of a guy. I'm not disrespecting Mikey because Mikey, he can fight, man. That guy can fight. It's just second nature to him. But I think taking on someone like Errol Spence, it's a great fight. It's a great intrigue. But with that being said,
there's your compadre, another warrior.
Another one. Meow. Look at this guy.
It's El Gato.
El Gato.
The kidder.
He still looks good.
He looks good.
But I would have to lean with Earl, and that's not disrespecting Mikey. I know Mikey. I like Mikey. I just think Earl's a big guy, a big strong guy at 47. I think Earl's having a hard time at 47 making the weight.
I think Mikey tricks people because he smiles a lot, so people don't see that dog in him. And then when you see him on fight night, you like, I don't recognize the guy who just signed 2,000 autographs. You know what I mean?
He's a killer.
Yeah,
he's definitely a killer. He's a killer, and is very technically sound. Very sound. I sparred with Mikey. I think there's actually a leaked video of me and Mikey sparring for 30 seconds, and I was pissed about it. Someone snuck in their camera, but it was a long time ago. And you're not gonna see much. But what I can recall from sparring with Mikey is his timing is impeccable. If he makes one mistake, he's gonna capitalize right away.
And speak about Al Heyman. You talked about Al Heyman previously with me, and you just mentioned him earlier in this interview. Talk about Al Heyman, how his value to boxing.
I think it speaks for itself, and everyone talking bad about it wish they could be with him, and they're not with him. And I know what he's done for me, so I can't speak for other fighters. And by that, the opportunities to make a living, the way I made a living, was all through Al. And I got nothing but respect for the guy because of what he's done for me and my family. So. Again, there's a lot of naysayers in the boxing world, but I'll tell you what, every naysayer, they're not with him. They're his competitor. So me, on a personal standpoint, not talking about other fighters, but for me, personally, he's done good by me.
Thank you. Any last words? Oh, you have questions? Yeah. Go ahead.
When you were talking about Mikey Garcia, how do you think he would fare with Lomachenko, in your honest opinion?
These guys are both boxing savants. Both of those guys, their IQ is through the roof when it comes to boxing.
Great word.
It would be a chess match. It would be the sweet science, the epitome of the word. That's what it would be because these guys, their timing, their movement, the reason why they're setting stuff up is to be very specific. You know, instead of seeing two guys go in there and bang it out, these guys are going to hit here and hit there for a reason. And that's what, man, that'd be a great fight. It's hard for me to choose a winner.
And then with DAZN entering the U.S. market with Anthony Joshua and the Povetkin and all the fights, how do you think that's going to fare in the U.S. with the Jesse Vargas? Do you think the American public's going to really get into it? I know they're in the pre-trial mode.
I'm not a big fan of the whole streaming issue that's going on. I'm not really a big fan of it. I like, maybe I'm old school. I like watching boxing on Showtime. FS1, on these networks. I'm going to say that because we're here on FS1. But with that being said, I think I'm more of a fan of that. The streaming thing is cool, but that's a niche market because there's only so many guys that are so techy. Again, as we get older, it'll push its way on and push its way out. But with that being said, you know, only you guys and myself are going to be the guys that are, okay, wherever we're at, boom, it's on our phone. But the older generation, they're not going to want to deal with that. So, do I think it's going to take off? They put on good fights, yeah, I think it'll take off. But I think they're going to be limited to streaming, and that's a very limited niche. I think it needs to be more broad. I think it needs to be on old school fighting like Showtime, like even HBO, even though they're going out. It needs to be on networks like that. That's what I believe.
John, you said you put it out there on social media to fight with Brandon Rios, and there's been a little bit of back and forth. Has there been any official negotiations? Is that fight likely to happen within these next couple months?
We put the word out there. This all started because someone called me and said, "Did you see what they said about your camp?" And I was like, "No." You know, me and Brandon are actually I'm not saying we're like best friends, but we're an acquaintance.
Y'all were in the gym together at 10 Goose, right?
We talk. No, not together at 10 Goose, but we've talked and we're an acquaintance. So I politely said, hey, they know my number. Let's make it happen. Might as well not let this 10 go to waste. And he rebutted back with, let's get it on. I'll talk to my people. So the ball's in motion. Now it's up to the powers that be to put it together.
How do you see that fight playing out? You guys both have an aggressive, forward style.